An Ohio teacher will stand trial after she showed her high school students, her Spanish students, a movie by the name of The ABCs of Death. Okay, so this is in Spanish class, and only a few of the scenes actually have Spanish language spoken in them. The majority of them have either English or other languages. But 58-year-old Sheila Kearns thought that it was a really good idea to show this very gory and explicit movie to her 14 to 18-year-old high school students. Now, she did this in the span of 5 different Spanish classes. And what's amazing about this story is that she doesn't speak Spanish at all. So I guess she had to rely on movies that speak Spanish to teach her Spanish students how to speak Spanish. Anyway, nonetheless, here's the issue with the movie, okay? The ABCs of Death includes full frontal nudity, masturbation, ejaculate, hard drug use, feces, and also vomit. Now, the supply teacher reportedly tried to fast forward the film when an assistant principal walked in, but it paused on a scene in which bared female breasts could be clearly seen on the television screen.
Look, I'm less worried about the frontal nudity than I am about the violence and the gore on the ABCs of Death. Right.
You know, if I have kids in high school one day, I don't want them to look at ejaculation.
Yeah, they showed the ejaculate. Presumably that was right after the masturbation.
Right.
Okay. I don't know if those things were mixed up. I don't want any of those things on that list mixed up. So am I bothered? Outrage is way too strong. Am I bothered that she showed that movie? I'm a little bothered by it. I don't think she should have done that. Am I more bothered that she doesn't speak Spanish when teaching a Spanish class? I mean, that's insane. What are you guys doing?
All right, so she's a substitute teacher, and apparently the school administrators knew that she doesn't speak Spanish, but they hired her anyway. And basically what she was a glorified daycare worker, right? Like she's babysitting a bunch of high school students. And that's the issue, one of the many issues with education, right? Like you got to hire people that are qualified to do this job, even if it's just a substitute teacher. Showing someone a horror movie that has some scenes in Spanish is not going to teach high school students how to speak Spanish.
Yeah, and look, we don't know the full specifics. Maybe she's going around to all the different classes, math, Spanish, etc., and she's not an expert on math and Spanish. But any way you slice it, it doesn't look good, right?
It doesn't.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think subjecting her to the trial is crazy.
Yeah, so she did break some laws because you're not supposed to show minors nudity. It's like showing them porn, basically, right?
But
and so it's against the law. So unfortunately, she will have to stand trial. I don't think she's actually going to serve any time behind bars or anything like that.
No, let her go. Like if you want to fire her for poor judgment, I get it.
Yeah.
That makes all the sense in the world, and I would agree with you. Don't waste taxpayer money on a trial on this. It's a poor judgment. Let her go and be done with it, okay?
Plus, I'm pretty sure the majority of the students have already seen graphic content on the internet anyway. That's
They're
not
14
an excuse.
to 18-year-olds. You think that they haven't figured out the internet yet?
Pretty sure they have. But that's still no excuse. She should definitely be fired. But you're right. I mean, it is a waste of taxpayer money to prosecute her. She's facing 5 felony charges and could spend up to a year behind bars over this.